It's getting worse in the Call of Duty community, plus hidden skill rating update. That is the name of this video. It is an exclusive Ace video, and if you are new here, if you've never been here before, it's your boy, the myth, the legend, the man with 3,000 hands, aka Early Boy 3000. I'll go ahead and have the original video down in the link in the description, so if you just want to watch the video and not the reaction, you know what to do. But without further ado, go ahead and hit that sub button, turn on the post notifications so you never miss a video, and drop a like. It puts us into the algorithm and it gets us one step closer to taking over the world. Exclusive Ace.
What's up, guys? My name is Ace, and it seems like things keep getting worse
guys?
for Call of Duty. And I just wanted to share some updates from a couple videos I made last week. The first one talking about how things are not going super well for Call of Duty right now.
Exactly. Things are definitely not going super well, but we've been letting you guys know. If you've been around, then you know. You know what's been going on. Call of Duty, they don't care about the community. They don't care about the player base, if we're being specific about what they don't care about. Like, look at what they did to Optic. You know what I'm saying? Once they seen Optic start making money off them, it was like, we can't let that happen, y'all. We can't let that happen. But we're going to get back into the video.
At least in the eyes of the core community, and on Steam, it's really not doing too great. And the second one was actually sharing how to find your skill data via a personal data request through Activision. Now, before we get into all that, obviously, this is going to be a fairly negative and critical video. And I just want to be clear up front, I'm not trying to become one of those channels that does nothing but complain or dunk on the game or franchise day after day, making essentially the same video with different wording. However, I do feel it's important to keep up with what's going on in the community, and I wanted to share some updates from the videos I made last week. I also want to be clear that as somebody that just plays Black Ops 6 multiplayer public matches, I don't get into ranked at all, and I often have crossplay to...
Rank is trash. I got some homies that only play ranked, and I don't understand how they do it or what they're doing, because rank play is so trash and it's filled with hackers, like, if you don't understand.
So I don't really see aimbots or wall hacks or anything. Overall, on a personal level, I'm still...
Whoa. Wait up there, buddy. I play regular casuals and I still run into the casual aimbotter here and there. So if you still don't play ranked, you're still going to run into some cheaters if you're in that higher bracket. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Still having a good time with this game. I'm still enjoying it, still playing it, still plan on making content on it for those of you guys that are still playing it as well.
And I am making content, and I am daily streaming every day on every single platform in the world. If you didn't know that, your boy, the myth, the legend. You know what I'm saying? Whatever platform you name, I'm on it. Just type Early Boy 3000 and I'm there.
And while I think it's far from being a totally unplayable and absolutely terrible Call of Duty, or even the worst Call of Duty we've seen in the past several years, there are still some clear issues with it that I have covered extensively already on this channel. I've already gone deep into this, shared my detailed feedback on it, and I don't really feel the need to keep repeating myself at this stage, simply because I still feel like the ball is in their court. They were on holidays when I shared a lot of that feedback, and it's going to take them some time to get some comms together and get some updates together, and then we'll see what comes of that. Unfortunately, it seems like...
Let me say one thing, though. This holiday break that they've been going on since, like, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, this holiday break that they've been going on is the devs selling the cheats, then they profit off the cheats, and then they patch the cheats when they come back off of the holiday. But let's not get into that.
Like a very long wait for all of this stuff, which is part of what we'll be covering today. And I will admit the game is starting to feel a little bit more on the stale side, which is why I often like saving the camo grind for the times like this. So I just started really focusing on the camo grind now. So that's how I'm feeling about the game on a personal level, at least. But I think it's also important to see what's going on with the community. And right now, things just keep getting worse and worse within the community, and I wanted to touch on that today. The first thing I wanted to point out is circling back to those Steam numbers that we talked about in the video last week. Steam is the only platform where we can get actual player information and data, and we saw about a week ago that Call of Duty had lost about 40% of the player base that it gained from the launch of Black Ops 6, which was a concerning trend, and now it's up to over 50%, and we're essentially back to pre-launch levels of players on Steam. And that's pretty crazy to see just a couple months after the game launched. Just for reference, with Modern Warfare 3, it took them until July to get back to the pre-launch player count of that game. I think they actually did quite a good job of player retention with that game, despite the fact that they didn't have the huge spike of players at the beginning. But this just shows that this trend seems to be getting worse and worse. Now, as I have mentioned in the past, to be clear, this is just on Steam, and it may not be a perfect representation of what's going on with other platforms. Some people are mentioning that Game Pass is the reason for this. I don't buy that, though, because the peak for this on Steam was when Black Ops 6 itself launched, not the Warzone integration, so that implies that those people bought the game on Steam. And it wouldn't make sense that Game Pass is now stealing them away because they already paid full price for it on Steam. So then why would they go pay for a subscription to play a game that they already paid full price for? So I don't think that really covers it. Other people have mentioned there are technical issues going on with the game, lots of crashing and stuff, especially on the Steam
I be crashing
side of things.
a lot.
So perhaps that does explain it to a degree. And perhaps this trend is much worse on Steam compared to the other platforms. But if I had to guess, we're likely seeing at least similar trends with other platforms. We're still likely seeing fairly big drop-offs here. And that is concerning if you're somebody that wants the franchise to be successful. Now, is the game totally dead like some people are claiming? No, it's still very much alive. You can still hop in, find a game, no problem. Even with crossplay disabled, I'm still finding games very easily, very quickly. And it is among the top played games on console still. But in saying that, at least relative to the success of previous Call of Duty games, it's not looking too good for Black Ops 6 and also Warzone at the moment. Now, to top this off, the devs and publisher have been very silent, at least at the time of recording this video. I'm hoping we'll get some comms at some point this week, because it is likely that most of the devs were just getting back to work.
They're not going to say nothing.
Like starting on Monday this week. And I'm assuming they've just been taking a few days to get their bearings, figure out what's going on, and hopefully they're working hard on getting some good comms together, as well as some much-needed updates, obviously. In either case, they really haven't been handling their communication very well, because the little bit that we have seen from them comes off as extremely out of touch. The core community seems to be in absolute shambles right now, and yet all we keep seeing from the official Call of Duty account is all of the new skins you can buy, and the event that's going on, and the premium event pass that you can buy as well. And it really comes off as them totally ignoring the community and how they're feeling about the game and all of the issues that are taking place with the game, and instead they're just marketing all of the things that you can buy within the game. And it seems like the community has really had enough of this. This tweet from Call of Duty yesterday at the time you're watching this video, but today as the time of me recording this.
Hey, you see the replies? Face Swag up there, #1. You better, hey, Swag, relax, buddy. They'll drop you off too, bruh. They'll cut the power off on you too, dog.
It's getting ratioed hard, and the response from the community members is quite harsh. I think rightfully so, because this is showing that they're really out of touch with what's going on here. Now, if I had to guess, this marketing was likely scheduled far in advance, and I would even bet that it's part of a contractual obligation with the Squid Game crossover. They probably had to do this marketing. But that doesn't change the fact that it hasn't been received well at all by the community, because we haven't been getting any other good communication from them. And it's obvious that the community just doesn't feel heard at this point. Funny thing with this as well is they once again got community noted on this. And that community note says, exercise caution when purchasing bundles from the Call of Duty store. There have been multiple reports indicating that one or more items with several bundles may not function as expected or may be changed to function differently after purchase. So Call of Duty is just getting hit hard on Twitter here. And I can definitely understand that frustration, especially from Warzone players, a lot of PC players, and also anybody that's been trying to grind ranked, because that's where it seems like things are at their worst.
Let me first say this. If you're trying to grind ranked right now, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? You grinding ranked for what? To play against hackers? I'm not even going to say it. You know what you are.
I've also noticed many of the top creators, especially on the Warzone side of things, they're not playing Warzone anymore. Or they're not playing nearly as much as they used to. They're moving on to things like Marvel Rivals or Delta Force. Scump just recently talked about how he feels Call of Duty is in the worst state it's ever been in. So again, it just comes off as really out of touch when all we see from the official channels is check out these new skins that we added to the game. Now, like I said, my big hope at the moment is they just got back to the office early this week, and they're working hard on at least some comms to keep us updated on what we can expect in the future, and hopefully they'll be outlining some real tangible improvements to the areas where people are having the biggest problems, namely connection experience as well as the cheating situation. Those are the two biggest issues it seems are floating around the community, and the two biggest reasons that many people are just not playing the game anymore, or not playing nearly as much as they used to. I know, of course, there are other reasons on top of that, like the matchmaking as well. That is a big one.
Yeah, matchmaking trash.
Since it seems a lot of the core community has been dropping off, and those tend to be a lot more of the higher skilled players. Honestly, lately, I feel like the lobbies have been getting easier and easier. I've actually had quite a few lobbies I've just been stomping on, and I'm not doing anything special to get in these lobbies. It's just regular lobbies I'm searching for, even when I'm not partied up.
You know the reason why, TheXclusiveAce. You know the reason why. Just be honest. Just come out and say it, bro.
Not my usual experience. So perhaps that's an indication that a lot of the core community is leaving, or perhaps they have actually been dialing back the matchmaking on the back end, or maybe they're just running some tests with a cohort of players like they did last year with Modern Warfare 3 to see what the reception is with different levels of skill-based matchmaking. But in either case, that's an update on all.
But even though he said that, don't go hop on, because you have 1 or 2 games and they throw you back into like the worst matches.
of those areas.
So,
the last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is
skill-based matchmaking is
on
trash.
that video I made last week talking about how to retrieve your hidden skill rating from Call of Duty by submitting a personal data request. Because skill rating is part of the personal data they have stored on you. And I was able to submit this request and I received my update within 24 hours. However, that was before I made the video on it. And that video blew up quite a bit. A lot of other people made videos on that as well and really spread the word on it. And since making that video, I have yet to see a single person mention that they have received their data since they submitted it, even if they submitted it like the moment they saw the video. So my best guess here is previously that system probably only saw the odd request here or there from the very few people that knew that they could even do this. And then for those that did know that they could do this, they probably didn't know that their skill rating was accessible to this, so they just didn't bother doing it. Since I made that video, they likely got flooded with tens of thousands of requests at a time, and I think we totally overwhelmed and flooded their system. Which is a bit surprising to me. It seems unlikely that they'd be using a manual system for such a big company with so many users. But if that's the case, I'm sorry to the individuals that are responsible for handling all this because I probably ruined their month entirely. In either case, my understanding of this situation is that at least in many regions, like the EU, it's actually a legal requirement for them to provide this data to you if you request it. So especially if you're from a region
I need my data. I need my data, Call of Duty. I requested my data. I need my data. You know what I'm saying? You over here holding my data, telling people that I'm not the skill that I am, but I know I'm this skill, and you holding the data against me. Where's the you know what I'm saying? Where's the data at? Who got the data? Do I gotta get my lawyer? Don't make me go get my lawyer. Get the lawyer involved just for me to get my skill ranking? Crazy.
Where it's required. I'm sure it's coming and it's just held up right now because they're totally flooded and overwhelmed. But as for when it's going to be coming, I have no idea. Obviously, I'm hoping it'll come sooner rather than later. I'm really curious to see what data other people have, and maybe we could start putting together what a good skill rating is, a bad skill rating, an average skill rating. It would be kind of nice to know where you stand based on that, since the game itself doesn't tell you, even though your gameplay experience is heavily altered depending on what that value is that's attached to your account that you can't.
I have my skill rating is so bad, bro, that I can't even like make a loadout mid-game, or I can't even pick a class, because once I stop and stand for like 3 seconds, I just get booted for not playing the game. And that's crazy. Like I can't make a class, but if I go play on the homie cold pieces, and you already know, like I could just make a class the whole game and never get kicked out. It's crazy.
But that's kind of where we're at with that, and that's going to wrap it up for all of the updates right now. It seems like things are not getting better at the moment. Hopefully that's going to be changing soon. Hopefully we'll be getting some comms from them and some solid updates that address some of the bigger issues. But at the moment, the community is still left hanging and we're just waiting for something. Or in the case of many, they've actually given up on waiting and they've just moved on to other games. And with that, I'm just curious to hear from you guys.
I've been playing a bunch of different games, but I've always been.
How are you feeling about the current state of Call of Duty?
How are you feeling about
like what modes you generally play the most as well?
Let me know what modes.
Are you like me? Are you just playing regular multiplayer and still generally enjoying yourself?
I'm just like you, Exclusive Ace.
Are you falling off the game? Are you playing less? Are you not playing at all? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated.
Always appreciate it. Hit that like button.
If you haven't already.
Let's go.
Yo, Queen on this one.